We left my stupid husband miles away from home as a joke. I cheated while he was gone. He returned, froze our accounts, and served divorce. And that was just step one. I should have known something was off when Tate didn't argue about the cabin trip. Let me back up. My name's Vanessa, I'm 29, and I sell pharmaceuticals to doctors' offices. Good money, decent hours, and I've got a tight group of friends, Brianna and Jocelyn. We've been close since college, and over the past year, we'd gotten into this routine of weekend getaways with our boyfriends. Well, they're boyfriends, Cole and Dustin, and then there's Tate, my husband. Tate's 31, works as a civil engineer, and he's reliable. That's the word everyone uses. Reliable, steady, responsible. He pays the bills on time, never forgets an anniversary, and somehow always knows when the car needs an oil change. On paper, he's perfect. In reality, he's boring as hell. We got married 3 years ago because it made sense. He had a stable career, I was tired of dating around, and my parents loved him. But lately, I'd been feeling like I'd settled. Like I'd traded excitement for security and got the short end of the deal. So when Brianna texted the group chat about renting a cabin upstate for the weekend, I was immediately in. Jocelyn too. The plan was simple. 3 days of drinking, hiking, and forgetting about real life. No responsibilities, no work emails, just us. Except we needed someone to drive. Tate can do it, I said during our planning call. He doesn't drink anyway. Will he even want to come? Jocelyn asked. Didn't you say he's been busy with some project? He'll come if I ask him to. And I was right. That Friday evening, Tate loaded our bags into his SUV while I finished my makeup. When I came downstairs, he was standing by the driver's door, keys in hand, looking tired. You sure about this? He asked. I've got a ton of work to finish this weekend. Come on, babe, we need you. You're the only one we trust to drive us around. I kissed his cheek and slid into the back seat next to Brianna. Besides, you never take time off. This'll be good for you. He didn't respond, just got in and started the engine. The drive up was exactly what I needed. Brianna had pre-mixed margaritas in a cooler, and by the time we picked up Jocelyn, Cole, and Dustin from Cole's place, we were already buzzed and laughing. Cole's a personal trainer, tall, built, confident in a way Tate never was. Dustin works in construction, all rough edges and loud opinions. Both of them knew how to have fun. Tate drove in silence while we passed drinks around the backseat. Yo, Tate, you want a sip? Cole leaned forward, offering a beer. I'm driving. One beer won't destroy you, Dad, Dustin joked. Everyone laughed. Tate's jaw tightened, but he didn't say anything. I felt a flicker of irritation. Why did he always have to be so rigid? So uptight? The cabin was perfect, 2 stories, wraparound porch, right on the lake. We unloaded the bags and immediately cracked open more drinks. Tate carried everything inside while we set up the outdoor speakers. You want one now? I offered him a beer once we were settled. I'm good. Someone should stay sober just in case. Just in case what? We're in the middle of nowhere. Relax. He shrugged and disappeared into the kitchen. The first night was harmless fun. Drinking games, loud music, someone, probably Dustin, trying to start a bonfire and nearly setting the porch on fire. Tate sat on the couch inside, scrolling through his phone, occasionally glancing out at us through the window. I was laughing at something Cole said, my hand on his arm, when I caught Tate watching. Our eyes met for a second. He didn't look angry, just observant. Then he looked away. Around 1 a.m., most of us were drunk and exhausted. Jocelyn and Dustin disappeared into their room. Cole passed out on the couch. Brianna pulled me aside on the porch, her eyes sparkling with mischief. We should prank Tate tomorrow, she whispered, giggling. What do you mean? Send him on a fake grocery run. Like, tell him we need something urgent from some specialty store 4 hours away. He'll totally fall for it. I grinned. Tate would fall for it. He always did whatever I asked. Let's do it. I woke up Saturday with a pounding headache and Brianna shaking my shoulder. Get up. We're doing this. It took me a second to remember. The prank. Right. I stumbled downstairs to find Tate in the kitchen, already dressed, making scrambled eggs and coffee. Everyone else was still passed out or groaning in their rooms. Of course he was up. Of course he was being useful. Morning, he said, not looking up from the stove. Coffee's ready. Thanks. I poured a cup and leaned against the counter, watching him. He moved efficiently, like he'd done this 1,000 times. Because he had. Every weekend, every morning after I'd been out late with friends, he was there making breakfast. It annoyed me more than it should have. By 11 a.m., everyone was awake and nursing hangovers. That's when I put the plan in motion. Oh my God, I said suddenly, loud enough for everyone to hear. Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. Tate looked up from his phone. What's wrong? I totally forgot. We need stuff for tonight's dinner. There's that specialty store in town that has the ingredients we need. The one Brianna told me about. Brianna nodded along, playing her part. Yeah, the one with the imported spices. It's the only place that has them. Tate frowned. Can't we just make something else? No, we planned this whole menu. I walked over to him, putting my hand on his arm. Please, you're the only one sober enough to drive. It's like 4 hours round trip, but we really need this. 4 hours? He looked at me carefully. Vanessa, that's half the day. I know, but you're the only one who can do it. We're all counting on you. He was quiet for a moment, studying my face. Then he sighed. What's the address? Brianna rattled off some random cross streets she'd made up. Tate typed them into his phone without questioning it. I'll be back around 4, he said, grabbing his keys. The second his SUV pulled out of the driveway, we all burst out laughing. Oh my God, he actually fell for it. Jocelyn was doubled over. He always does, I said, pulling out my phone. Okay, everyone turn off your phones. Let's see how long it takes him to figure out there's no store. We powered down our phones and tossed them on the kitchen counter. The rest of the afternoon felt lighter somehow. Freer, like we'd cut an anchor loose. Cole made a comment about Tate being whipped, and instead of defending him, I laughed. Because he was right. Tate did whatever I asked, no questions, no pushback. It was pathetic when you really thought about it. By 2 p.m., we were drinking again. Day drinking hits different when you're already buzzed from the night before. Everything was funnier, easier. I found myself sitting closer to Cole on the porch, our legs touching. Your husband's a saint for putting up with us, he said, grinning. He's fine. He's probably happy to have a break from me anyway. I doubt that. Cole's hand landed on my knee. If you were mine, I wouldn't let you out of my sight. Brianna caught my eye from across the porch and raised her eyebrows. Then she mouthed, live a little. Maybe it was the alcohol. Maybe it was the fact that Tate wasn't there to remind me who I was supposed to be. But when Cole suggested we go inside to grab more drinks, I followed him. One of the spare bedrooms. His hands on my waist, my back against the door. I heard Jocelyn and Dustin laughing in the hallway. Get it, girl, someone shouted. More laughter. It was just fun. Just a moment. Tate didn't need to know. What he didn't know couldn't hurt him, right? At some point Cole's hand connected with my face, not hard, but sharp enough to sting. I was too drunk to process it, too caught up in the moment to say anything. It barely registered. When I woke up Sunday morning, the guilt hit me like a freight train. But only for a second. Then I pushed it down. It was just a stupid drunken mistake. These things happened. I'd deal with it later. Or maybe I wouldn't deal with it at all. We packed up around 10 a.m., everyone quiet and hungover. Brianna turned her phone back on first. Oh crap, she said. Tate called me like 15 times yesterday. I powered mine on. The notifications flooded in. 23 missed calls from Tate. A dozen texts. All from yesterday afternoon and evening. But nothing recent. Nothing from this morning. I tried calling him. Straight to voicemail. Where the hell is he? I muttered, dialing again. Voicemail. Brianna looked at me, her smile fading. Maybe he's just pissed and ignoring you. Maybe. But something felt off. Tate didn't ignore me. Ever. I called 3 more times during the drive home. Every single one went to voicemail. By the time I pulled into my driveway around 3 p.m., I'd convinced myself Tate was just being dramatic. He'd done his whole I'm disappointed routine before, usually after I'd stayed out too late or spent too much on something. He'd give me the silent treatment for a few hours, then we'd talk it out, and everything would go back to normal. Except his SUV wasn't in the driveway. I sat there for a minute, engine idling, staring at the empty spot where his car should have been. Maybe he'd gone to his brother's place to cool off. That had to be it. I grabbed my bag and walked up to the front door, fumbling for my keys. The key slid into the lock, but when I turned it, nothing happened. I tried again. Still nothing. What the hell? I checked the key, thinking maybe I'd grabbed the wrong one, but no, it was definitely our house key. I tried the back door. Same thing. The key went in, but the lock wouldn't turn. He changed the locks. My heart started pounding. This wasn't like Tate. Tate didn't do petty revenge. He was the guy who apologized even when he wasn't wrong. He didn't change locks and disappear. I called him again. Voicemail. Tate, I don't know what's going on, but you need to call me back. I can't get into the house. This isn't funny. I waited 5 minutes. Nothing. Fine. If he wanted to play games, I'd handle this myself. I pulled out my phone and opened my banking app to check if I had enough cash to call a locksmith. The screen loaded. Checking account, $0. Savings account, $0. I refreshed the app. Same numbers. My stomach dropped. This had to be a glitch. Some kind of system error. I logged out and back in. Still zero. I tried my credit card next. There was a gas station 2 blocks away. I'd fill up the tank and figure this out. But when I swiped the card at the pump, it declined. Insufficient funds. That's impossible, I muttered, trying again. Declined. I went inside and tried to buy a bottle of water. Declined. The cashier gave me a pitying look. Do you have another card? I didn't. Everything was joint. Everything was tied to Tate. Back in my car, hands shaking now, I opened my email. There was a new message from our bank, timestamp 9:15 a.m. this morning. Subject, Joint Account Access Update. Dear account holder, per the request of the primary account holder, your access to the following joint accounts has been revoked effective immediately. Checking account hashtag Forex3229. Savings account hashtag Forex8834. If you have questions, please contact the primary account holder directly. Primary account holder. I read it 3 times, trying to make sense of it. Tate had locked me out of our money. All of it. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely type. I googled how to check property deed online and found our county's records database. I entered our address. The page loaded. Property owner, Tate Hutchinson. My name was gone. It used to say both our names. I knew it did because I'd checked it 2 months ago when we were refinancing. But now, just his. The world tilted. This wasn't anger. This wasn't a cooling off period. This was calculated. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered immediately. Hello? Is this Vanessa Hutchinson? A man's voice, professional and clipped. Yes. Who is this? My name is Gerald Flores. I'm the attorney representing Tate Hutchinson in his petition for divorce. The word hit me like a slap. Divorce? Yes, ma'am. Mr. Hutchinson has filed on the grounds of adultery. We have video evidence documenting your infidelity, which will be submitted to the court. You should expect to be served with papers within the next 48 hours. Video evidence? My voice came out strangled. What video? What are you talking about? I'm not at liberty to discuss the specifics with you directly. Mr. Hutchinson has requested that all communication go through legal counsel. You should retain your own attorney immediately. Wait, I need to talk to him. Let me talk to Tate. That won't be possible. Do not attempt to contact Mr. Hutchinson directly. Any further communication should go through me. The line went dead. I stood there in my driveway, phone pressed to my ear, listening to silence. Locked out of my house. Locked out of my bank accounts. My name erased from the deed. Video evidence. What video? I spent Sunday night on Brianna's couch. She wasn't thrilled about it. When I showed up at her apartment, mascara smudged, explaining I was locked out, she'd hesitated before letting me in. It'll blow over, she said, handing me a blanket. Tate's just being dramatic. He'll cool down in a few days. I wanted to believe her. I tried to sleep, but every time I closed my eyes, I heard that lawyer's voice. Video evidence. Monday morning, my phone started buzzing at 6 a.m. Mom, Vanessa, call me right now. Mom, what is this video? Mom, I can't believe what I just watched. My stomach turned. I called her with shaking hands. Mom, what? What did you do? Her voice cracked. She was crying. My mother never cried. I don't know what you're talking about. Tate sent us a video. Your father and I just watched it. The whole thing. What video? But even as I asked, I knew. Deep down, I knew. You and your friends, laughing about tricking him, sending him away like he was nothing. And then, Vanessa, how could you? My mouth went dry. Mom, I can explain. There's audio of you with another man. In a bedroom, while your husband was driving around looking for a store that doesn't exist. She was sobbing now. He did everything for you. Everything. And you treated him like garbage. It was a mistake? A mistake? You planned it. I heard you laughing about it. You said he was stupid. You called him pathetic. I didn't remember saying that. But then again, I'd said a lot of things I didn't remember. Where did he get a video? Dashcam. In his car. He said it has audio too. He recorded everything from the moment you got in the car Friday until he left Saturday. Everything. Vanessa, the cabin trip, the drive up, all of us in the backseat, passing drinks, making jokes at his expense, the conversation with Brianna about the prank, and after, when we turned our phones back on Sunday morning, talking about the hookup, laughing about how Tate probably drove around for hours before figuring it out. He'd heard everything. Mom, please, don't call here. Not until you've figured out what kind of person you want to be. She hung up. I sat there, phone in my lap, feeling like I'd been gutted. Brianna emerged from her bedroom. I still puffy with sleep. Was that your mom? Tate sent them a video. Her face went pale. What kind of video? Before I could answer, my phone rang. My boss. Vanessa, we need to talk. 10 minutes later, I was fired. Tate had sent the video to HR. I'd told them the cabin trip was a work retreat, that I was networking with potential clients. Instead, they had footage of me drunk, cheating on my husband, lying about company time. We have a morality clause in your contract, my boss said, voice tight. Effective immediately, your employment is terminated. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. My phone buzzed with texts. Jocelyn, Cole's wife saw the video. She's filing for divorce. Don't contact me again. Jocelyn, I'm serious Vanessa. You dragged us all into this. Then Brianna's phone rang. She answered, walked into her bedroom, and I heard her voice rising. No, I didn't know she was going to. Cole, I'm not. This isn't my fault. She came out 5 minutes later, face flushed. You need to leave. What? Cole's blaming me for encouraging you. His whole life is falling apart. His wife, his reputation, everything. And now he's saying I'm the one who convinced you to do it. Brianna, come on. I'll let you stay here as a friend. But this is too much. Pack your stuff. I grabbed my bag, walked out into the hallway, and stood there trying to figure out where to go. I had $200 in cash, Money I'd pulled from an ATM Friday before we left. That was it. I found a motel 2 miles away. $40 a night. Stained carpet, broken TV, but it had a bed. I lay there staring at the ceiling, trying to piece together how everything had collapsed in less than 48 hours. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. You should check the group chat. Group chat? Then I remembered. The wives' chat. The private one where we'd all shared gossip, complained about husbands, posted screenshots of ridiculous texts from exes. I opened it. 33 new messages. And at the top, a video file, sent by Tate. I didn't want to watch it, but I had to know what everyone else had seen. I downloaded the video and pressed play. The angle was from Tate's dashboard, wide enough to capture the entire interior. There we were, Friday evening, piling into the backseat. Brianna handed me a margarita. I took a long sip and laughed at something Jocelyn said. Then Cole's voice, "Yo, Tate, you want a sip?" "Tate, I'm driving." "Dustin, one beer won't destroy you, Dad." Everyone laughed, including me. The audio was crystal clear. I watched myself lean forward, resting my hand on Tate's shoulder. "Come on, babe, loosen up." He didn't respond, just kept driving. The video jumped ahead, Saturday morning. Interior cabin footage must have been from his phone or something, but then it cut back to the car audio from when we all got in Friday. Then another jump cut to Sunday morning, when we'd turned our phones back on. Brianna's voice, "Think he figured it out yet?" My voice, "Oh, he definitely did. He's probably so pissed." Jocelyn, "He'll get over it. He always does." Me, "That's what I married him for. He's predictable." Then laughter. My laughter. Then another audio clip. Me talking to Brianna on the porch Saturday night, slurred and drunk. "Tate's so boring. Like, I love him, but God, he's got no edge, no excitement. Cole actually makes me feel something, you know?" I watched myself say these things and felt like I was watching a stranger. The video cut to black. 3 minutes and 42 seconds that destroyed my entire life. I scrolled through the group chat messages. Wow. Just wow. I always thought Tate was too good for her. This is disgusting. Poor guy. Vanessa, if you're reading this, you should be ashamed. Deleted your number. Don't contact me. Message after message. Women I'd shared drinks with, laughed with, trusted. All of them turning on me at once. I closed the app and threw my phone across the room. Tuesday morning, I got another call. This time from Cole. "This is your fault." His voice was ragged, furious. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" "Cole, Tate's suing me for physical attack. He says I hit you during that night. And it's on video." My stomach dropped. The slap. I'd barely registered it at the time. Too drunk to care. But now, "It wasn't physical attack," I said weakly. "It was consensual." "Then you need to testify. You need to tell them that." "I don't. I can't. My wife left me. My gym fired me. My name is all over social media. And now I'm facing a lawsuit because you couldn't keep your legs closed." He hung up. I sat there, shaking. Then I did what I should have done 3 days ago. I called a lawyer. His name was Irving. He had a small office downtown and squeezed me in Wednesday morning. I used the last of my cash to pay for the consultation. He reviewed everything. The video, the emails, the divorce filing. "You have no case," he said finally. "He has documented proof of adultery, video evidence, financial records showing he funded your lifestyle entirely. You weren't on the original mortgage. He added you as a gesture of goodwill after marriage. Legally, he's within his rights to remove you. But there has to be something. Miss Hutchinson, this wasn't impulsive. Your husband opened a separate bank account 6 months ago. He's been transferring money gradually, building his case. He consulted with a divorce attorney in January." Irving looked at me over his glasses. "It's now June. He's been planning this for 5 months. The room spun. 5 months. While I was complaining about him being boring, he was documenting everything. While I was planning weekend trips with friends, he was talking to lawyers. While I was cheating on him at a cabin, he already knew exactly how this would end. There's one more thing," Irving said, sliding a paper across the desk. "He's suing you for reimbursement." "For what?" "Everything he spent on you during the marriage. Car payments, credit cards, vacations, shopping. He's claiming fraud, that you entered the marriage under false pretenses. He's asking for $54,000. I couldn't speak. Irving continued. "The judge will likely reduce that amount, but you'll still owe something. Probably in the range of $20,000 to $30,000. My phone buzzed. I looked down. A social media notification. Tate had been tagged in a photo. I opened it. Tate and a woman I didn't recognize at first. Then I realized, Whitney, the graphic designer from his company. The one I'd made fun of at a holiday party last year for being chubby. She wasn't chubby now. She was glowing. His arm was around her. Both of them smiling at some restaurant. The caption, "Best date night ever." Posted 3 days ago. He'd moved on before I'd even come home. My phone buzzed again. A certified letter notification. I'd need to pick it up from the post office. I already knew what it was. 2 months later, I'm writing this from my childhood bedroom. The certified letter was exactly what I expected. Tate suing me for $54,000 in marital expenses. The divorce was finalized 6 weeks ago. The judge reduced the amount to $22,000, payable over 5 years. I signed the papers in a conference room that smelled like stale coffee while Tate sat on the opposite side with his lawyer, never once looking at me. He kept the house. He kept Biscuit, our dog. He kept everything. Really, because everything was his to begin with. Cole's physical attack case made local news. Personal trainer sued for physical attack during extramarital affair ran in 3 different outlets. My name was attached to every single article. Cole settled out of court for $15,000. Last I heard, he's working overnight shifts at a warehouse. I'm working part-time at a clothing store in the mall. Minimum wage, folding shirts, getting yelled at by teenagers. My manager is 23 and calls me ma'am. My mom lets me live here rent-free, but we barely speak. She makes dinner, leaves a plate for me in the microwave, and goes to her room. My dad won't even look at me. I had to do court-mandated substance abuse counseling as part of the divorce settlement. Turns out when you send someone on a fake errand while you get drunk and cheat on them, judges don't look favorably on your relationship with alcohol. The therapist asked me last week why I married Tate. I didn't have an answer at first. Then it hit me. I didn't marry him because I loved him. I married him because he made my life easier. He paid for things. He handled things. He was there when I needed him and invisible when I didn't. I didn't just cheat. I used him. For 3 years, I used him, disrespected him, and treated him like he was lucky to be with me. And when he finally had enough, he didn't yell. He didn't beg. He just systematically removed me from his life like I was a bad investment. Brianna and Jocelyn haven't spoken to me since June. I saw Brianna posted about cutting toxic people from your life with a bunch of supportive comments. I wasn't tagged, but I knew it was about me. Through mutual acquaintances, people who still follow Tate on social media, I learned he got promoted at work. He and Whitney moved in together. Into my house. Our house. His house. They adopted another dog, some rescue with 3 legs that he posts about constantly. He looks happy. Actually happy. Not the quiet, enduring kind of content he had with me. Real happiness. Last week, I ran into them at the grocery store. I was in the produce section, trying to figure out if I could afford the organic apples or if I needed to get the regular ones, when I saw him. He was with Whitney, both of them laughing about something. She had her hand in his back pocket. He was pushing the cart. He saw me. I know he did because our eyes met for half a second. He nodded. Polite. Distant. The way you acknowledge a stranger. Then he kept walking. Whitney didn't even notice me. She was too busy telling him some story, completely oblivious to who I was. He'd never mentioned me. Why would he? I didn't matter anymore. I stood there holding a bag of apples, watching them walk away, and realized, this was the real revenge. Not the divorce, not the lawsuits, not even the public humiliation. It was this. Being erased. Being so insignificant that he could see me and feel nothing. I don't exist to him anymore. I'm not worth hating. I'm not worth remembering. He moved on like I was never there. Because to him now, I wasn't. So yeah, I slept around and found out. No sympathy needed. I earned every single bit of this. If you're reading this and thinking about doing something similar, don't. The revenge you'll never see coming is the one where they just erase you and build something better without you. Hate didn't destroy my life. I did that all by myself. He just made sure I couldn't blame anyone else for it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.